What's up, guys? It's Jacob the Bear Finnerty, strongest guy you never heard of, and you're watching World's Strongest Fan.
Hey guys, and welcome back to another video. First up, it's Strongman Tyler Helm. He's not trained Atlas stones for quite a while, but the weight today is 220 kilos or 485 pounds. He gets it over the bar, and that's a great lift. Next up, we join Andrew Cooper, who's usually doing a bench press, but today it's some really heavy rows. The weight, 140 kilos or 309 pounds for 8 reps. Next up, we join Rauno Heinla. He's getting ready for competition with a stone carry simulation. The weights, 163 kilos and 133 kilos in each hand for distance. Next up, we join Daniel Bell, who's working on his bench press. He says, here is 535 pounds close grip. One day my bench will come back around. Looking good though today for 2 reps. We now move into some overhead pressing, and here is Strongman Nicholas Canby. The weight, 275 pounds. He said, here is a Max Circus dumbbell training for America's Strongest Man, so good luck to him. We now join Webster Reed, training an axle overhead. The weight, 170 kilos or 374 pounds for 2 reps, and really fighting to get that second rep. Now someone else also pressing overhead is Dominic Creaky. He says, I'm getting my fire back. Here is a 380 pounds push press. Next up, we move into the log, and here is strong woman Rhiannon Lovelace. She's doing a strict rep today. The weight, 80 kilos or 176 pounds, and compared to her body weight, that's actually heavier than she is. Next up, we're out in competition, and here is Hin Houseman competing at Oceania's Strongest Woman 2022, where she came away second place in the Open Women's. Following on from her, we join John Stephen Corabooth. He's also training log today out in Coco's gym. The weight of his, 150 kilos or 330 pounds for 3 reps. Here's a clip from Sebastian Templars, and the weight on his log is also 150 kilos or 330 pounds, but he's pressing it today for 5 reps. Notice he's doing them strict. He's got some really strong overhead power. Speaking of power, here is Jacob Finnerty, pressing from the rack, a weight of 204 kilos or 450 pounds. Impressive stuff from him. We now move into some squatting, and first up it's Vladislav Gerzhinov. He says it's week 3 and going strong. The weight on his bar, 285 kilos or 628 pounds for 2 reps. Next up it's Sam Salome, also squatting. The weight on his bar, 360 kilos or 793 pounds. Next up we join another lifter. This is Craig Foster. He's an awesome powerlifter. The weight, 379.5 kilos or 837 pounds for 2 reps. We've now got a moving event, and it comes from Nico Shaprales, working on the Super Yoke, with a weight of 317.5 kilos or 700 pounds for 50 feet, and he rounds out the first half of today's video.
3, 2, 1, lift. Hold it, done right. Keep going, over halfway. 2 meters.
Now we're into the second part of today's video, and we kick off with the deadlift section. First up, it's Hunter Henderson, who says, I've come to the realization that strongman competitors are in pain 24/7, and she's not wrong. She says, I'm pretty dang happy with how my training and life is going in general. Next up, it's Julia Mills, working on her deadlift. The weight, 210 kilos or 463 pounds. She gets down into a good position, and that's a strong pull. Next up, it's another athlete. This is Rowan's uncle, pulling 250 kilos or 551 pounds with ease. Now next up, it's Joe Oliver, who says, this is one of the slowest 300 kilo pulls I've ever done in a long time, but it's actually very comfortable, and considering my circumstances, I'm happy with how it went. Next up, we join strongman Shane Flowers, who said, I had a late session last night, pulling 300 kilos on the axle for some easy 5s. I've got no other scheduled shows coming up this year. However, now that I know the events for Giants Live Strongman Show in Glasgow, I'm tailoring my training around that just in case I get called up. Next up, we join champion powerlifter Dan Grigsby. Today, he's pulling in a conventional stance, a weight of 306 kilos or 675 pounds for 3 reps. Following on from him, he's back again, it's Sam Salome. He says the strength is creeping back up with 340 kilos or 750 pounds. Next up, we join Nick Fisher. He's having an awesome session, pulling 765 pounds for 4 reps, and that is a new personal record for him. Next up, we join Jesus Olivares. He says, slowly but surely, here is 347.5 kilos or 766 pounds. Next up, we join Landon Eford. He's pulling in competition. The weight, 366 kilos or 807 pounds. Next up though, it's godly strong Alex Simon. He's hitting a personal best in a sumo stance. The weight, 380 kilos or 838 pounds for 3 reps. He's getting stronger each week. Now next up we join Dylan Hellregal, who said, I had a pretty cruisy start to my peak, so I'm happy with this. It gives me a nice 1,035 kilos training total for the week. Let's go. And finally, here is Rauno Heinla pulling sumo. The weight, 420 kilos or 926 pounds. Now next up I've got some competition news, and it's the Giants Live World Tour Finals events. Event 1 is going to be a dumbbell press for reps. Next up it's Event 2, the nickel stone carry, where the guys have to pick up these stones in each hand with no straps, carrying them as far as possible, and will we see a new world record? We'll have to wait and see. Now next up, Event 3 is the axle deadlift for reps. I don't know the weights, but I guess it's probably going to be somewhere between 340 and 360 kilos. Up next, it's Event 4, the carry and drag. The guys having to carry a heavy anchor down the track before loading it onto a chain and pulling it across the line. And the final event is the power stairs. Great to see Giants Live listening to feedback and changing out the stone run. They're the events for this year's Giants Live World Tour Finals, happening on the 8th of October in Glasgow. If you get a chance, definitely go down and check it out. And seeing us out today, it's Jacob Finity, who said, more technical practice prescribed by the cuddly Martins Lises. Here is £200 for 5 reps. And now that America's Strongest Man is delayed, we go into official Strongman Games prep. He's really excited for this one. Notice he's got a really good technique, and check out the size of that dumbbell. It's huge. Anyway guys, that's it from me today. I really hope you enjoyed this video. If you did, give it a thumbs up and hit subscribe, and I'll catch you again as always on the next one.